not ever let anybody tell you it's impossible to reliably pick winners in the stock market. Last Friday, I told you to buy some Tapestry ahead of this quarter this morning. For those of you who don't remember, Tapestry is the apparel and accessories company formerly known as Coach. They also own Kate Spade and Stuart Weitzman. I've repeatedly pointed out the accessories group is red hot here. So I extrapolated for the rest of the group and predicted Tapestry would have a good quarter. But even I didn't expect the stock to rally $5.70 or 12% like it did today because of unbelievable guidance. What's driving it? Okay. 3-cent beat off of a 57-cent basis, higher than expected revenue, but just an incredibly bullish view for the 2019 fiscal year. The truth is, this represents merely the latest step in what's been a tremendous multi-year turnaround effort. It's been spearheaded by Victor Luis, who's taken over CEO more than 5 years ago. I think he's done an amazing job, but do not take it from me. Let's check it with the man himself, Victor Luis. He's the bankable CEO of Tapestry to get a better sense of where his company's headed. Mr. Luis, welcome to Mad Money. So great that you're on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, I just was pulling for you because I think that you've done an incredible thing revitalizing this brand, but I was astounded. You're predicting a year of double-digit revenue growth. You've got unbelievable growth in China. You've got a multi-year plan. I want you to trace it out for our viewers.
Sure. Well, we're very excited. First, of course, we've had an incredible year, just announced a great end to that year with our fourth quarter. Which was really reflected in the acquisition of Kate Spade that we've successfully integrated, following up on the acquisition of Stuart Weitzman. And now we're building a platform upon which all three of our brands, Coach, Kate Spade, and Stuart Weitzman, can grow, which is going to be backed by some investment strategies that you discussed, specifically in China. When the Coach brand entered China about 10 years ago, it was a $50 million business. Today, north of $600 million. Had an awareness today, an unaided awareness that basically is at 30% relative to Kate Spade's at 2%. So tremendous opportunity for us across the Asian markets for growth.
But we would be slighting another initiative that you've done. $800 million in men's going to $1 billion? How does that happen?
Very excited. Men have discovered bags, and of that, about half is in North America, and of course in Asia, with the other half, is with a business that's also growing from a much smaller base in Europe. But we're very excited about our men's program. We've been putting a lot of talent behind that, a lot of investment behind that, and over our planning horizon, we see a very clear path to $1 billion.
You also have done a remarkable different pivot in marketing. You are using digital to a tremendous extent. You're getting millennials that way, aren't you?
We are. Look, of our direct business today, approximately 10% of total Tapestry business of around $6 billion or so this fiscal year is direct digital. If we were to include all of our partners at wholesale, it would be, of course, substantially more than that. But it is the most important way in which we connect with consumers and influence their purchase decisions. And we've been making tremendous investments in our marketing direct to consumer through digital, whether that be through social media, of course, through our own direct com or through third-party channels.
Now let's talk about China. First, I was concerned. I was worried about tariffs because the handbags were on the list. But it seems like, one, I shouldn't be fretting that much. But two, the presence is building and building in China.
Yeah, for us, China is really much less of a sourcing avenue than it is a market for us. As I mentioned, the Coach brand alone in Greater China is north of $600 million. Terrific opportunity for both Kate and for Stuart Weitzman there as we look to the future. From a sourcing perspective today, we're very global in how we source, and China represents between 3% and 4% really of our handbags and accessories only. So really not much of a direct, immediate risk for us.
Okay, two concerns. I just want to be sure. One is Stuart Weitzman did not have the numbers that I was hoping for. I know it's a story brand. And two, it was mentioned on the call, it's very sad. I know she was not connected with the brand, but Kate Spade did pass away in June, and I know that brought a brand awareness. I think it's a great brand, but I want to be sure that that spike wasn't ephemeral, and I want to be sure that Stuart Weitzman is on a growth path that I shouldn't worry about.
Sure. In terms of Stuart Weitzman, what we've communicated most recently is that we're working very hard to deal with some of the execution issues that we were facing in our supply chain as we integrated that brand following the elevation of the founder to a chairman emeritus role. Right. And we see that now most of those issues are behind us, and we have, in fact, on this most recent call just this morning, announced that by the second quarter of this year, we will again see growth in the Stuart Weitzman brand. And in the case of Kate Spade, as you mentioned, of course, very, very sad with the passing of the founder. She has not been with the brand for the last decade. But of course, course, we were very touched with the response that we got in social media across the world to her passing, and very excited. And a couple of these silhouettes, in fact, that we have here today are from our new executive creative director, Nicola Glass, who replaces the person who followed Kate herself. And we're very excited to launch her collections in the spring.
We went by one of your stores. My wife said to me, I don't think that's Coach because of this. We saw this. You have changed it up in a way that, even though you never, we still love the traditional, right? We love the retro tradition. My daughter wears the retro, but you have made the stores look very uncoach-like. Not that that's bad, but we wanted more, and you're giving it to us.
Thank you. Well, at the core, they're still very Coach. They still have that core DNA that we brought forward, and listening to your wife as the voice of the consumer is what we enjoy listening to the most, of course. But what we have here, and the one you're referring to, is one of our newest handbags by Stuart Vevers, our executive creative director, and he's gone back to the archives a little bit and taken the traditional Coach signature, actually, modernized it, put it in a new silhouette, and we're getting an incredible reaction to the launch of this signature platform.
People love it. Now, is there something that I'm missing? Why are accessories itself, as something people buy, how did accessories get red hot?
Well, look, they've been red hot for quite some time, actually.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I think if you were to compare the growth of the accessories category over the last decade to, I would say, premium apparel, and other categories, accessories has definitely outpaced. The past year has seen really terrific growth with high single-digit, low double-digit growth globally, truly driven by the fact that accessories remain the most important category that consumers use to express their individuality. It's branded. It's one of the key ways that they invest in fashion to express themselves. Okay,
one last question. You've got two Chinese celebrities. Candidly, I did not know them. That is my own weakness. And Selena Gomez here.
Correct.
Endorsements, they work.
They work. They're a great way for us to connect with consumers globally. Of course, as we know, especially as consumers leverage social media and celebrity much more in order to give the brands context, we'll leverage global celebrities such as Selena Gomez, and then we'll also complement that with local celebrities in key markets, whether that be in Japan or in China with the two that you've mentioned that we discussed on the call this morning.
Well, what a remarkable turn. This could be long-lasting, to last many years. That's Victor Luis, he's CEO of Tapestry. The symbol is TPR. This one's real. Remember when we first had Manny Chirico and PBH? This one feels like infancy. Mad Money's back after the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.